And today we're going to break things down into 3 phases. We're going to do a play side phase, a backside phase, get into some play action, and we'll break it down to the very beginning, teaching the blocking progression using some of the apparatus such as the chutes. Coach Sam, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, one thing you're going to notice when we start talking through techniques is that we may intermingle terminology a little bit, and I think that's important to realize that we're kind of isolated in North Dakota State. We're out in the sticks. We can call things whatever we want to call them, so we have terms that make sense to us and make sense to our kids. The important thing that you grasp from the videotape is the concept of what we're trying to do, and we'll try to explain that as we go along and give you the idea of what we're trying to accomplish, and I think that's important for your kids as well. I think if the guys up front have an idea on what lane you're trying to run the ball through, they're going to be able to make on-the-field adjustments more readily and get the job done without having to burn a timeout and come on over and ask you what's going on. I tell my players I don't want robots, I want athletes, and athletes are capable of making adjustments on the fly, and if you keep that whole concept thing in mind as you go through the tape, I think the terminology will fit into your own terminology as you see fit. So let's get going, I guess.
Get going. All right, start off with the play schemes, and first thing we're going to do is start off with teaching the blocking progression. And we're going to move over to the chutes here in a second. We're going to cut the film off so we get things set up, get ready to roll, but we're going to go to the chutes and we're going to go through the blocking progression of teaching how to hit the man. So from that, we'll go to the chutes.
Edit that out later.
Ready. All right, we're going to go to the position step. Position step, we feel every position on our offense, the most crucial thing that they do is their first step. And what we're going to do here is what we call one-step drill, which is a position step. I'll have Jason here demonstrate for me. Let's get down here, Jason. From our stance, we're going to put our head up on the bag. All right, when I tell them the position step, it's going to be a little 4-inch step. You want to go left today? Ox, when you get on film, he's going to take a little baby step, about half a shoe length. Go ahead, Ox, take the step. All right, the elbows are going to snap back. We want 90 degrees in the elbow right here, pinching them tight to the body, which tightens the back and the chest. We're loading power. He's got fists here at his waist. He's got his face up on the bag. That's the position step. We do this, and then we come back later. We'll show you 2-step how we're going to deliver the blow. Let's all go together, fellas. 1-step drill. We're going to go right today, everybody? All right, 1-step drill, right step. Here we go now. Set, hit. Good, right there. Get your body weight going forward there, big boy. Here we go now. One more time. To the right. Here you go. Set, hit. Good, nice, nice, nice. Notice their weight's going forward. If that bag wasn't there, they'd fall right on their bellies. We're run blocking. We want all the weight coming forward. All right, here we go now. One more time. 1-step, right side. Here we go now. Set, hit. Good, right there. You hear their elbows hit the pipes too. We want those elbows coming back as they're stepping out. From there we have a back up with the bags. Back off to the end of the decks there, fellas. All right, then we blow it off every time. When they come through on the blow-offs, what we listen for is this with their feet. We always say we want to hear the ground rumble. I want to see how many steps they can get in the ground before they get to the bag to deliver the blow. We do this with every drill when we finish off. We always talk about finishing a drill. Here we go, blow it off on one. Here we go, right step right now. Here we go now. Sit. Good, right there. That's it, fellas. Good, good. Come on back now. So we start off with teaching position step. The next thing that we get to is the 2-step drill. Now we're going to teach them how to deliver the blow. When we talk about delivering the blow on the position step, when the elbows come back, the fists are at the waist, we're leading with the face. We always talk about we want the second foot on the ground before the hands hit. We always tell them, do not let your hands hit before your second foot hits the ground. To do that, we back our people off the ball as far as humanly possible. Some people do it differently. I think Coach Sam may come up here and do things a little bit differently in that aspect. But we want to get off the ball as far as we can, a little baby step, second step on the ground, we're throwing a punch. We talked about the elbows inside so we can't collapse our body, forearm to forearm, fist to fist. We're going to let our face hit right above the hands. You hit with the head, they go to the ground. We want the face right above the hands when the punch is delivered. All right, here we go, 2-step. You want to go right, guys? Good. Give yourself plenty of room now. Plenty of room. Get both feet in the ground now. Here we go, 2 steps. Right step first. Here we go. Sit. Hit. Good, that's it, that's it. Concentrate on the feet now. When you're watching the film now, watch the feet. Always look from the waist down. Are they getting their both feet in the ground and delivering the punch? Here we go now. Sit. Good, right there, that's it. Here we go, one more time. One more time, we'll blow it off, fellas. Here we go now. Sit. Good, Good, that's it, that's it. Notice their weight, they're finishing on their bellies because they got all their weight going forward. That's what we're looking for. Get a good blow off now. Let's hear the ground rumble now. Tear it up now. Here we go. Sit. Good, that's it, good. Here we go.
All right, the next phase of what we do with the blocking is a drill we call two-step deliver, and it could be used in a flip situation with the two-step punch you just saw. Either one of them is acceptable for us. We tell our kids football is a game that's played from the ground up, and if you get your first 3 steps on the ground properly, your chance of making a play are probably 95%. And what we're looking at is taking a lead step. The guns are in the holsters, you're ready to punch. What we're trying to do is get that second step on the ground prior to the hands making contact, and then we're going to follow the block out. It's just to teach the continuity of the 3-step reach or the 2-step reach punch and have them continuous motion. One coaching point on this, you want to be very careful about them coming up out of their stance. We still want to be coming out even though we're in a position where balance-wise it might be a little bit difficult to do. Let's have you guys get set in there. Let's have a lead step with your left foot. Hands are back, your head is up. You're ready to deliver. You're going to deliver prior to the second, or just after the second step, sticks in the ground, and then keep driving it to the length of the dick here. We'll go set, hut, man. Set, hut, punch, drive, drive, drive. Good. You can see as they go out, nice base. Their feet are wide. They're not touching the dick. They've got good choppy steps, good power steps. And the next phase that we like to get into is a leg drive drill. We call it 2-on-1 drive block. We'll have 2 handheld pads side by side. These guys have got to kind of give some resistance but not collapse on it. We also don't want them to stalemate. We want to make the guy in the chute do the work. And basically what we're doing, we're coming out of a 3-point stance. We're firing off the ball. We're trying to place the mask in between the 2 pads. The punch is still there, although we're not worrying about hand position on the punch. As a natural matter of course, they'll generally get one hand on each bag as they punch. But we're looking at pad level. We're looking at a situation where the legs are driving. They're getting those continuous choppy short steps. If we're having trouble with pad level in a game, we'll have our guys squat down to the point where the bottom of the bag is sitting on the ground, forcing them to get a much better pad level. For our sake right now, we'll keep it relatively high. We don't have a helmet on. You should have a helmet on when you do this drill. It's a situation where we like to go full pads when we do this. We don't spend a lot of time on it, but it does give our kids the opportunity to concentrate on the importance of leg drive on contact. We'll go set, hut, big man. Set, hut. Good punch, good back. Look at the feet digging. That's very nice technique. You got her going.
All right, we're going to go to the next phase of things. One of the problems you have with kids when they get past the first level, they're going up to the linebacker level, they have a tendency to want to rise up. And when they make contact, their feet stop and they fall off the block. One thing that we do a lot of things called what we call a box step, over and up, instead of zone step, because we're trying to get the shoulders parallel. And as we're climbing to the second level, we want as many feet in the ground as possible, so they're able to get their body under control in case they have to change directions. We start with the bag holders in the chutes all the way, so when they make contact, these are simulation of the linebackers, but we want them up here because we want that contact point low, in the midpoint of their body where the leverage is. We start them out on the pipe, on the edge of the chute. We're going to start off with a good box step to the right, and then we're climbing to the linebacker. Right before we get to the linebacker, we concentrate on jamming the feet in the ground before we throw the punch, as if there was a defensive lineman in front of them and we were trying to time up a 2-step punch. Here we go. Let's go box step right, fellas. Here we go now. On me now. Here we go. Sit. Good. Right there. That's it. Good. Let's go one more time. One more time. Don't dip when you get to the chutes now. Once you pad height. All the way through now. Don't be dipping when you get to the chutes now.
Go now, man.
Stand tight all the way through now. Here we go. Sit. Good. Right there. That's it. Good. 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 All right. From here, we're going to go on to the next phase of things. We're going to be teaching some of the blocking progressions as far as the different types of techniques and zone schemes, double teams, and those types of things. So we'll head on to the next phase.
Ready to go, Coach?
Good.
At North Dakota State, we run a zone play at a 3 technique. You can see we've got the guard there, we've got the 3 technique lined up. we call it an 8 reach block. It simply means that the guard is locked onto that 3 technique no matter which way he slants. The concept of the play is that we're anticipating that 3 technique is going to defend his gap, his B gap. He's probably going to stretch when he thinks he's being reached up, and the running back is going to read the 3 technique and the block on the 3 technique, and in all reality it ends up being more of a cutback type dive, although it's not a true cutback behind the center's block. We teach 3 basic steps at North Dakota State in terms of foot position. We teach what we call a base step, which is straight ahead. We teach a zone step at a 45-degree angle. We teach what we call a George step, which is the same as the box step at Saginaw Valley. We're going to base step here, get the arms loaded. The punch is exactly the same. Once you initiate contact, it's a matter of stretching with him, just locking on that defender and going whichever way he goes. We'll talk through the slant on the next repetition. For now, we'll have the kids demonstrate what we're doing here. We'll just go set hut. For camera purposes, we're going to give stretch out of the 3 technique. Ready, set, hut. Good punch. Stay with him. You got him all the way. Very nice. Very nice. Now, what's going to happen with the tackle? We're releasing the tackle in a zone scheme to the linebacker. On the next rep, camera purposes, we're going to show you what's